finally raining. I know I live in Seattle, but this has been the driest month. And I've been here all month, so coincidence? Nah, rain gods just hate me. But it's finally raining on a Saturday. It's really only one thing to do. Gotta break out the hot pot. Here's the thing, making hot pot at home shouldn't really be that cumbersome. Like, it's not really hard to make pretty tasting hot pot broth. As long as your dipping sauce is good, it's gonna be a pretty delicious experience. Also, just the notion of hot pot, just being able to sit like in a very cozy environment, especially when it's raining or cold outside, just stuffing your face with this piping hot, delicious, boiling pot of meats and vegetables and noodles and whatever else you can stuff in there, that'll fill your soul right up. Also, if you got people to enjoy it with, all the better. I don't. I'll still do my best to enjoy this stuff. All right, let's get the cooking started. First of all, like all good Asians, I keep a batch of hot pot meats in my fridge. And it's there just in case I feel like hot pot. I call it JIC hot pot ingredients. Outside of the meat and some fish balls, I'm not exactly sure what else I have that can be put into a hot pot, but let's see what we have. Baking soda. Okay, this probably won't work really well. Some salad. This could work as some greens. Scallions, for sure. Ooh, kind of rotted. Tomatoes. Yes, sir. Gnocchi mushrooms. Eggs. All right, I think I got everything prepared. This is what I was able to muster from the fridge. I got my hot pot meat. This you typically can't find in Western supermarkets, but it's in basically every single Chinese, Korean, or Japanese supermarket. Now, if spam is imitation meat, I found some imitation spam. So basically I have some imitation meat. Some tripe that I didn't really cut up that well because it was frozen in an ice block. My salad is now my greens. Some tomatoes, 2 types of tofu. One is the regular tofu, the other is frozen tofu. Making frozen tofu is really simple. Put it in a freezer, it's frozen tofu, and the texture is dramatically different. It's almost spongy, it soaks up a lot of soup. It's amazing. I have some kojak jelly, which are these little noodle type things, kind of look like little knotted ropes. These things are amazing because the texture is crunchy, it's delicious, and 0 calories. I found some cucumbers, some tofu skin. You gotta slice up some potatoes. Some of the best potatoes you'll ever eat in your life comes out of a hot pot. Trust me. I got some ramen, couple of eggs, and of course, 2 types of mushrooms. Now, hot pot is fun, okay? You can't eat something fun without inviting the fun guys. Sorry, not really. So I have trumpet mushrooms and I have the famous gnocchi mushroom, which are the best for hot pot. So these are the ingredients I'm dipping into my broth. Now, the thing with hot pot is it doesn't have to be this. There's no like set hot pot ingredients. There are some foods that taste really good in hot pot, like tofu, frozen tofu, noodles, mushrooms, thin slices of meat. But you can put broccoli in there. You can put a cauliflower in there. You know, if you like stuff that's gross and you want it to taste better. Almost any type of food can be put into a hot pot. Well, except for ice cream. So don't limit yourself to what I'm showing you, but what I have here are some of the more typical hot pot ingredients. And this is our broth ingredients, by the way. I've got about a dozen or so dried chilies. You can use more or less, depending on how much you like spice. I got 4 star anise, tablespoon of dried goji berries, about 10 dried plums, 6 slices of ginger, 7 cloves of garlic, 1 cinnamon stick, about 6 bay leaves, and a tablespoon of peppercorn. In the broth, it's gonna be really simple. We don't need to overcomplicate it. Chicken broth. Honestly, if I didn't have all these ingredients, or if I just had a couple slices of ginger, some scallions, oh, by the way, scallions as well will go in there. And I just had some chicken broth, throw that in, it's gonna taste good. There's some hot pots that are basically just water. I've been to many hot pots where the broths are horrible. So even if you just have chicken broth, that's okay to use for hot pot broth. And of course, we need the dipping sauce. That to me is the most important flavor aspect of hot pot. For that, I have Chinese barbecue sauce, which I love. Sesame paste, which I think is pretty vital. Soy sauce, black Chinese vinegar, sesame oil, and of course, hot oil. Now, this, of course, the sesame paste, it's also something that you can probably only find in Asian supermarkets. So if you don't have this, what you can do, put a little peanut butter in your dipping sauce. Now let's get to the pot. Normally what Chinese people do is we have a gas flamed cooker and then we have a pot, and usually the pot is separated into spicy and non-spicy. It's just me today. I like it all spicy. I don't need any spice segregation. But if you don't have a gas burner or an electric stove or something of that sort, I mean, I guess you can and just eat a hot pot over the stove like I did.
when I lived in the basement in Brooklyn. For like a month, I just kept the pot on the stove. Every day I come home, turn it on, put some new stuff in, and then cook it that way. It's kind of inconvenient, especially if you want to watch TV, or if you turn on the wrong burner and burn up your iPad. What you can do, and this is what I always did back in China, back in college, use your trusty rice cooker. Ain't just for steaming rice. Now, of course, you gotta be able to have the type of rice cooker that would actually turn on without the cover. Back in China, when my family wanted to cook up a quick meal hot pot, we literally crowded over a boiling rice cooker. It's easy and it works so incredibly well. All right, I'm gonna make my dipping sauce and then let's cook the broth. For my dipping sauce, I like to add 1.5 tablespoons of the Chinese barbecue sauce, 1 tablespoon of the sesame paste, just a teaspoon of black vinegar, sesame oil, a couple teaspoons, tablespoon or so of soy sauce, and just a hint of hot oil. Maybe 2 hints. Here's your dipping sauce. And next up for the broth. So before my chicken broth goes in, I'm gonna just stir fry some of these ingredients inside my rice cooker. Don't forget, your rice cooker can work as a skillet as well. And you don't have to do this with the rice cooker because it is gonna be a tad inconvenient. But for me, it's a little less trouble just to use one cooker. A little cooking oil goes in. Now your cooker won't cook unless there's some weight on top. So I'm just gonna heat up some cooking oil. When the oil heats up, toss in a few slices of ginger. After cooking that for a couple minutes, toss in your garlic, and then your bay leaves, chilies, star anise, cinnamon stick, and the peppercorn. Cook that for just another minute or two. When all the fragrance releases, add your chicken broth. Toss in your scallions, dates and jujube, and wait for that to boil. Oh, that smells great. So with a rice cooker, just make sure to control the cook and warm button. Oh, I just found some ribeye in my fridge too. Sliced up ribeye. Look at that marbling. I'm so excited to start. And before we start chowing down, I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Surfshark VPN for supporting me and for sponsoring this video. If you guys don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network. And Surfshark VPN is something I've been using for over a year now. And there's so many great reasons that you should be getting a VPN, especially right now when we're all stuck at home. And I've personally been getting a lot of messages from people telling me they've been rewatching a lot of my old videos, which I really appreciate, but that also tells me that people are probably running out of stuff to watch. So one great thing about a VPN is that it allows you to access different libraries from streaming services like Netflix. Did you know like Netflix Japan or Netflix UK has different shows than Netflix US? I've been going to Netflix in Japan a lot because Big Bang Theory is there. Also, I use Surfshark a lot, especially when I'm traveling because I'm accessing different hotspots, different Wi-Fi all the time throughout the airports, throughout different hotels. So it's really vital for me to protect my digital information. Like, you guys ever talk about something or have a chat with someone, all of a sudden, whatever you're talking about, the ad for that start appearing on your search browser. So basically what Surfshark does is that it encrypts all your data that you send through the internet, and it keeps anyone unwanted from seeing it. Surfshark also has Hack Lock ID, so you actually get alerts when someone's trying to break into, let's say, your email. And right now, Surfshark has a really good deal going on. If you use the link in my description and promo code Mikey Chen, you'll get 83% off. And Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, get your money back, go buy a cup of coffee. Like I've always told you guys, I don't accept many sponsors on my show. So when I do take on a sponsor where I say something is good, it's always something that I've personally used and I really like. So anyway, check out the link below and you'll be supporting the show as well. All right, I think our broth is good. Let's eat. I'm gonna try, get some ribeye. Done and done, less than 10 seconds. Oh, that is good. One sip making me all feel warm and tingly inside. Oh, that meat is tender. Don't cook it for too long. Oh, and it will be amazing. I can already tell this is gonna be good. A little ribeye melts in your mouth. Broth is fantastic. Really hearty flavor soaked into the meat. Dipping sauce is amazing. This is such a good hot pot meal. Oh my God. I haven't done, this is the first time I've done a hot pot at home, like just me, without friends over, just using like a small pot. Oh, I can't believe how awesome this is. Also, if you want to make this even better, throw your tomatoes inside. The tomato is gonna make the broth amazing. Also, what we wanna do is toss in all the ingredients that's gonna take a while to cook, like these potatoes. Just gonna toss these in. Mushrooms go in. I'm a dunker. Some people, this might give you like a complex, but certain things, longer they're in the hot pot, the tastier they are. Frozen tofu is definitely one of them. Regular tofu as well. Toss some of that in. My imitation meat. Put that in there. The only thing you don't want to cook a long time is your beef and your tripe. Everything else, I'm good with it. A little cucumber, tofu skin. Heck yeah, baby. All right, as that's cooking, a couple of things I want to talk about. One is, I get this question a lot. Have I ever been food poisoned on my trips? The answer is a definite 100% yes. Like twice really bad food poisoning. Once was in Peru. So you see here, see the footage where we're going to Peru and we're going to the salt mines and seeing some of the ruins. This whole day, I ate something at a market. The lady, she cut me a fruit. She's really nice. You can see her right here. I love her. She's so sweet. And she cut a fruit open, and I think the bacteria was on the knife. So she cut some fruits open for me, and I ate it right away. And after that, I couldn't get up. Like I was laying in the car. I didn't want to walk anywhere. I still made the trek to all the ruins because when am I ever going to be in Peru again going to these ruins? So I did it anyway, but I was so miserable. I was in the car, and I think that was the worst food poisoning I've ever experienced until India. So when we got to India, you know, we brought like charcoal tablets, and we tried not eating stuff that looked unsanitary, which that rule I actually broke a lot. There was some stuff that I ate that I thought as soon as I ate it that I was gonna get ill, but I didn't, which surprised me until the last day we were in India. Oh, by the way, I gotta tell you guys at some point, the worst Airbnb experience I've ever had in my life, and it's horrifying. That'll be another video. But anyway, the last day of our India trip, and I feel really bad, so I'm gonna try to make this as vague as possible so the person doesn't feel bad. Anyway, the last day, we were saying goodbye to a lot of friends, and one of the friends' houses we went to, of course, everywhere we went, they offered us food in their houses, and we ate them. And at one of the places, we drank something. Well, actually, I shouldn't say we, but I drank something. The rest of my team didn't drink it. It was like a special beverage that was made for New Year's, where it had like something bitter, something sour, something sweet, something spicy in there. And being, you know, the leader of our group, the rest of my group kind of pushed me to be the representative to finish that drink, which I finished it. And then shortly after that, I started feeling like something wasn't right. Then it was time to go to the airport. So we're flying Air India to Dubai, and we get on that flight and we get to Dubai. When we got to Dubai, we're in the lounge. All of a sudden, it just hit me like a wrecking ball. I was laying on the sofa. I couldn't move. I was cold. I had a huge headache. I felt like I couldn't see straight. And if you ever walk through the airport in Dubai, it is massive. Oh, I think my hot pot's ready. And I'm walking through this massive airport, trying to get to the flight after feeling so miserable in the lounge. I knew it was just gonna be so incredibly bad. So we get on the flight, and it was an economy flight for I think like 14, 15 hours, and I was in the middle seat. Oh, I love tofu skin. Oh, this little jelly thing is so incredible. Super nice crunchy texture. Again, 0 calories. This is like the ultimate delicious diet food. Anyway, I'm on the plane. As soon as I get on, we take off, I'm like just hunched over. Can't move. Huge headache. Like literally delirious. And I couldn't sleep because obviously it was super uncomfortable. And even when I did sleep, it was like fever dreams. I was having nightmares. I would sleep for a long time, and I felt like a long time. Wake up, it'll be like 10 minutes later. So time was just not moving at all. Luckily, there was a bathroom in the front of our section that apparently like not a lot of people knew about because it was kind of out of the way. Imitation meat is good. Seriously, even if you hate Spam, try eating it in a hot pot. There's just something different about it. So for the rest of that flight, every 30 minutes, I had to get up to either make a donation at the porcelain altar or to throw up. So imagine 14 hours of that. And then we get to New York City, and at that point, our office was still there. We're staying, about an hour and a half away. So after that, it was another hour and a half, 2-hour drive. Ooh, cucumber is so refreshing. Hour and a half, 2-hour drive back to my house. And for the next 2 weeks, I couldn't get out of bed. I never felt that horrible in my life. Guys, this is remarkable how good this is. Enoki mushrooms. I dare you to find a better veggie ingredient for hot pot. I don't think it exists. Oh, one last story I want to tell. It has nothing to do with my travel adventures, but it kind of reminded me when I'm eating this and eating with the rice cooker. I went to China when I was 13 years old. From 13 to 15, I was in China. And so many insane things happened when I was in China. But I'll just tell you why I went there. Essentially, and my parents are gonna watch this video and they're gonna refute this, I think. I was sent to China. It wasn't a choice. There was no like, hey, you wanna go to China? Yeah, okay, cool. No, it wasn't anything like that. It was more like, hey, you're going to China. When? Next week. Like, it was something like that, I guess, at the time. So my parents always owned restaurants. You know, when we were growing up, they always owned restaurants. And they work really, really hard in the restaurants. And if anybody who's ever been in a restaurant can, you know how incredibly difficult running a restaurant is. So my family had this restaurant. And when I was about 12 years old, like, I would help out at the restaurant sometimes, but most of the time, I was kind of like just running around being like a little hoodlum. I wasn't always the nice, calm, considerate person that you see before you. I'm just kidding. So when the hot pot is boiling too much, I want to slow it down. I just turn it to warm, get my heat on a little bit. Oh, I think the potato is done. Oh yeah, baby. Heck yes. Oh. Gotta try that. You have got to try. Oh, one thing I want to add in here. Remember all the frozen dumplings I bought? These are so good. Grab some of these and put them in the hot pot. So anyway, I was this little hoodlum. I had like a bunch of friends. I was like part of like this little made up gang called the Ninjas. It was so dumb. And me and my friends, we would tell our parents we were sleeping at each other's houses and we just go ride our bikes around town and egg rival Chinese restaurants. Like, so dumb. Dumbest thing. I was really a problem child. So it really wasn't my parents' fault when they felt like they needed to like have me learn some discipline and learn some Chinese because I was forgetting all my Chinese. So they sent me back to China and to live with my aunt for 2 years to the city called Xi'an. That's where I was born. And of course, like, I wasn't having it. I was like, I'm not going back to China. It's such a third world country. Like, I can't, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't squat anymore. I can't even do the Asian squat anymore. How am I even supposed to poop? So then I devised the perfect plan. Now, I know everyone's probably thought about running away at some point in their lives, and the first time I ran away was when I was in Tennessee. I was like 9 years old, and my mom yelled at me, so I ran away. But then I remember I wasn't allowed to like cross the street, so I was just like going around in circles on our block and hid in a bush for a while and came home, and she didn't even know I was gone. But this was gonna be a great plan. So on the way to the US from China, we flew past Japan. And at the time, when I was 12 or 13, my number one goal in life was to be a ninja. So I figured, you know what? When the layover happens again in Japan, I'm gonna run away. In my head, it was like so great because I was gonna go find like a ninja village and join them and become like the next Naruto before there was even a Naruto. So I had this like perfect plan formed. Like I was like, okay, so I'm gonna layover. I'm gonna go, and this is apparently the area in Japan where ninjas are from, so I'm gonna go there. I packed my suitcase, like put a lot of food in there, and then the day of my flight, I was set. I even hugged my parents goodbye because I'm like, this is it, yo! Like, this is gone forever. Oh, by the way, you gotta rescue the potatoes because they're in the bottom and they're melting. So if you don't rescue them and eat them, they're gonna disintegrate. You're gonna miss out on all the yumminess. So right now, it's Operation Potato Rescue. So I get on the plane and I'm psyched. Again, I'm like the stupidest 12-year-old in the world. Next stop, Ninja Stardom. So the plane lands on the layover and I get out of the plane and I'm ready to bolt. And then I realize I'm in Shanghai. The plane did not lay over in Tokyo. It laid over in Shanghai. So yeah, I missed my grand opportunity to become a ninja. The greatest ninja the world would ever know didn't exist because of the layover that didn't happen. I'm telling you, if that layover was in Japan, people would be like Naruto and you guys would be like, Naru who? It's kind of crazy because, like, you know, Western kids would misbehave and parents would be like, go to your room. My parents were like, go to China for 2 years. But in all honesty, kidding aside, like, I loved my time there so much. I mean, there were so many crazy things that happened when I was over there. Like, one day I was randomly attacked by 3 classmates over a girl. Like, some Korean drama type stuff happened when I was in China. But I'll tell you guys another time. Dumplings are ready too. Oh my god. Oh, you see all the juice dripping out of this? That's from the dumpling and also from the hot pot. And before you finish your hot pot meal, and I'm nowhere near done, but I want to do this right now. You gotta do some hot pot noodle soup. Put your noodles in. You can use ramen, you can use vermicelli, you can use whatever you want. Hot pot noodle soup is the best noodle soup. Oh, I forgot about the bacon. This you gotta make sure it's totally cooked. With some beef in there, we can make it a chicken broth beef noodle soup. Oh, by the way, when you're running low on broth, add some more in. Add some hot oil. Man, I wish I can share some of this with you guys. Oh my god, that broth. After everything that's been stewing in there, plus the original ingredients, the only thing that can make these noodles even better, poach an egg. If you've been at home for such a long time, you're dying to get out, bite of that, at least for a few seconds, will 100% transport you right to the gate of food heaven. Not many things in the food world is as good as that. If you use my recipe, cook up a hot pot, at the end after boiling all these ingredients in there, put some noodle in, and trust me, any noodle craving will be satisfied. Just remarkable. Alright, I'm gonna need some privacy and finish up, but thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Again, you don't need to use the same ingredients I did to make the hot pot. If you have all the different broth ingredients, that's great. If not, use some chicken stock. Just get your hot pot on. Oh yeah, I just want to say, by the way, I know this is going to come up in the comments, that is also my rice cooker. So I feel like you're not a true Asian unless you have a rice cooker and a backup rice cooker. Just in case. Just in case. Emergencies do happen. Just saying.